some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this is the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man. You're gonna feel different.
Neighborhood Net Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Did Lil C's tell on Lil Kim? Or did he tell on a situation and Lil Kim stood 10 toes? I don't want to put no jacket on nobody that don't deserve it. I don't know why, for some reason, my peripheral in the back of my mind think I was told. Also heard some weird allegations about him and Biggie in the hotel lobby lacking clothing, birthday suit type shit. But I've been enjoying some of these cats from back in the day sharing old stories, Daz in particular. Edie Amin tapped into some of his shit. We even Corrupt. But now Lil C say Mack 10, my nigga. Go check out my record, Mack, featuring Mack 10, 50 Cent, called Colorblind. He said Mack 10 bumped into him on purpose. That's just the title. You know, banging on somebody is kind of geographical, but that other shit, that shit is universal, man. So let's see why or if Mack 10 was on his bully with Bad Boy Boys.
It was an interview that Big did where he was giving rappers a good or a bad rating. Did that actually happen? Because I know he got a lot of backlash for that, right?
Oh yeah, when he did an interview and I think we did that in Canada. Yeah, and Big didn't say no shit like that, you know. Big wanted to leave. The dude kept asking Big these questions, and you know, the Big couldn't smoke weed in there. And you know, and Big was getting fed up because he was just asking Big about everybody, like all these different rappers. Instead of interviewing him, ask him about his album and you know what he got going on and what's next with Junior Mafia. Asked, how you feel about this? How you feel about that? And the only thing Big actually said was like, "Yo, call that other shit you ask me about them. Ask about me." Not, you know, it's not necessarily saying like, "Yo, call them," but it's like, "Yo, call that. Ask about me right now." So the interviewer must have got pissed and got heated about that and twisted up a whole interview and acting like Big this, you know, like he asked Big about Ice Cube and Big supposed to have this Ice Cube, supposed to have this E40 and shit like that. And that didn't happen at all. You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't happen. That straight up how the whole interview went, but Big was just like, "Yo, like all that shit, dog. Stop asking me about that shit. Ask me about me. I got a project coming out. I got a Junior Mafia project coming out. I got a C's project coming out." And then Big kind of was like, "I'm not doing the interview no more." So whoever that was spent the interview like that. Like Big didn't say no shit like that about none of them artists. Like Big ain't gonna diss Wu-Tang. Big love Wu-Tang. He didn't diss Ice Cube because we was from with Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Like Big wanted that type of to do no dumb shit like that. So yeah, that was just some shit like that happened. And I think that was from a article or interview he did in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Made up a whole interview saying that. I bet you won't hear no if you would have been heard the audio at this time. You know, back in the days, you would write it, you would just get the audio of an interview and then you would just jot it down. It'll be in the magazine. To this day, we never heard no audio of that. So that's to let you know that was bullshit. Because trust me, you know, for who Big is and for who he was then and who he still is now, you would have heard that audio now, like by this time. You know what I'm saying? So that was some bullshit, point blank.
I heard when Big was in Sacramento, some of E40 people confronted him about that, right? The rating he gave E40?
No, it was a part in there that the dude put in where he supposed to have said something about E40. So we did a show in Sacramento and E40 wasn't there. Shout out to my brother E40 too, because I was just with him last year at the Rock the Bells cruise. And you know, we laughed and joked about this shit. But yeah, we was the only artists from the East that was on that bill. It was a lot of like West Coast artists. You know, Mack 10 was on the bill. Be Legit was, I think, an artist that was signed to E40 or affiliates.
It's crazy to hear C's being from where he's from just pop off all these West Coast names, not just all high profile. He real familiar with the scenes and all levels and layers. That's interesting to me.
40, and there was a few other people. And I remember when we first got there, you know, Big was in the back, you know, in the back of the venue. And you know, I used to always just walk around because nobody really knew who I was like that then. So I would just walk around the venue. And I remember clear as day, Mack 10 saw me. And we was like walking through, and he had bumped me and shit, like purposely, like, oh, you know what I mean? And he had like 2 other dudes. When I turned around, they was just sitting there staring and shit. This like as soon as we got there. So I went to the back after that. I'm like, yo, big, this energy, the energy, yo, they on some bullshit. And B, I'm just like, all right, whatever, we're just gonna do the show and get out of here. He didn't, he's not thinking nothing of it. So we go out there, we do the show. So while we leaving, it's a bunch of dudes like on the side, like a bunch of them. It's like about 15, 20 of them sitting on the side, like just really just grilling us down and shit. You know what I mean? And I think one of them said something to Big, and it was just something like really like nothing to it, that type of thing. And then when we got
nigga Mack 10 probably was having bow down was on his mind. Just bow down when you come to our town. Bow down when you westward bound. Bow down with bow down. Just that's greater than you. That's what he was thinking.
In the car, they all start getting in their car too. And they actually they followed us. Like, so once we realized we was getting followed by them, it's like, and then they start burning rubber on the side of our limo and shit. Like, we like, oh shit, okay. So now we're in the car, like, yo, what we gonna do? So the driver, like, yo, of the limo, he's like, yo, we'll just keep driving around. And at one point, one of our other homeboys was just like, yo, man, nah, don't drive around no more, go to the hotel. Because right now, I just want
Don't lie. Somebody said drive to the police station. Don't act like that didn't come up as an option. Stop it.
Be what it is. You know what I mean? But let's get to what we got to get. We could figure it out from there. So when we got there, Be Legit was in one of the cars. He got out with the phone with the phone to his ear, and came up to Big and was like, "Yo, E40 want to holler at you." Big took the phone, walked away, talked to E40 for about 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like short and sweet, nothing crazy. Big came back, gave Be Legit the phone. Be Legit came back to us, was like, "Yo, sorry for the misunderstanding, dog. My nigga, like, but what's up? Y'all want to go out or something? Y'all good? Y'all need something?" You know what I'm saying? We was like, nah, y'all is about to beat our ass. Like, nah, we cool. We gonna go in here and just chill, freshen up, and we gonna get ready to get the fuck out of here.
Shout out 40 Water, man. Go check out my record with E40. I Think I Love You, man. That's the title of the record.
Energy ain't good here. You know what I'm saying? And then, like that was it. Big, explaining to him what happened. 40 was like, nah, no doubt. I know it's all love. I ain't believe that shit. And we was cool from there. Them made sure we got to the airport the next day, pulled up on us, escorted us to the airport. And, it was love and respect since then. But that's what happened. That all stemmed from that interview. You know what I mean? This before the interview got published, or when it did get published, it got put out that way. That's how some of the people felt. They felt like, Big was throwing shots at him, but then, Big talked to E40, and that shit was nipped in the bud that night. You know what I mean? So
that shit happened being overseas doing interviews. I was a little further than Canada. I was like in the UK, and I was doing an interview, and they showed me this dude. He had like a LA hat on, Pendleton, looking like G'd up, and they asked me like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "No, I don't know him," and I ain't never heard of that nigga. They say, "Huh? He told us he's the biggest gangster on the West Coast." And the nigga name was Big Steel. My mama, I had never heard of him. I'm like, man, I ain't never heard of that nigga. So I guess they called Big Steel. Told Big Steel, like, yeah, we just interviewed Spider Local. He said he never heard of you. And I don't know who put me on the phone with him, but it was crazy. I know him now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but back then I had never heard of him. I wasn't trying to hate on him. I was just being honest when they showed me the picture. You feel me? I had never heard of the dude.
Nothing crazy happened, but they made their presence felt that day, and we were just on some. We gotta just go all out right now. We're gonna go the fuck out. We gonna get home, but that didn't happen. It was all love and respect, and Be Legit did the right thing by putting 40 on the phone, and 40 cleared all that shit up, and it's been all good since then.
You wasn't a little shook, yo? I mean, you had to be a little shook, right? Or you just accepted what it was going to be?
He already made the faces and let you know he was kind of shook. Let's see if he going to keep it. You can see his face now. He ain't going to lie. Hell yeah, he was shook.
It is what it is.
I mean, what we going to do? Yeah, we were just like, yeah, you shook, but it's like, what you going to do? Okay, I'm that shook. I'm going to ride around for 30 hours in a limo. It's like at one point, yo, dog.
That's why I don't believe the thought of driving to the police station never came up. There's no way in the world.
Just get out of it. Whatever's going to happen, go happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was nothing else that, to think about doing. It's like at that point, we done been through some shit before. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. We're going to go all out. At this point, at whatever comes at us. And, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, they kept it G on their side, and, it went the way it's supposed.
Y'all must not have really been ready. You must have been lacking. They did all that following you. If you was on, you don't wait to bust back, do you? If I had it, and somebody followed me from a venue doing all that, it would have got loud. Blah, 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 blah.
Supposed to win. You know what I mean? They just needed that conversation. And once that conversation happened, I can't tell you how it went. Big walked away, came back, gave the phone back to his partner, and they was like, yo, listen, y'all want to go out tonight? I got y'all. And if y'all don't worry about it, but we're going to make sure y'all get out of here. Just the energy is off from dude putting that interview out. And that was it. Kind of, that shit, that was it. We had no other issues or problems after that.
I know that had to be crazy though, man. I mean, y'all be here from New York and y'all wait in Cali.
Yeah. And they know these niggas probably flew out there, don't got no pistols, they ain't got no nothing, you know what I mean? And we home, you know what I mean? So yeah, they was riding on the side of the truck, burning the tires up, yelling all type of shit, hanging out the window, like ghost ride next to our limo. We like, yo, we're in the car just like, yo, and the driver's riding around for at least about 5 or 10 minutes. He was just riding. He didn't want to pull up to the hotel. So he rolled down the thing. We like, yo, pull up there, dog. Like, what we going to do? We
definitely thought about the police station.
Look like no suckers either. Sit here be riding around all day. It is what it is. Either we gonna get an ass whip or we gonna whip some ass. Something gonna happen.
How you saying you ain't got no pistols, and in y'all mind, y'all just knew it wasn't going past this cars? That's crazy. Y'all was thinking naive.
And you gonna respect us no matter what the outcome is. So that was just kind of our mind state. Like, yo, we just gonna go all out right now, and just like we can't keep riding around. Can't be in no fear. Obviously they ain't fucking with us. So, but that was gonna be. You know what I mean? But it turned out right. It was a positive shit. Everything was all love, and they definitely kept it real with us. You know what I'm saying?
Was Big actually a fan of E40?
Nah, Big. With him, you'll see a few flicks before that interview. It's flicks with E40 and Big. Like we knew of him from going to the Bay all the time, from going to Oakland, going out there. He from Vallejo. You know what I mean? Like, so you would hear about people like
this nigga know his shit.
This, like, well, you would hear their music when you went there. So Big was aware of who E40 was. You know what I'm saying? So it was always that mutual respect when they bumped into each other. But they met each other like 2 or 3 times prior to that interview that came out, and it was nothing. Big wasn't like that, dog. Big wasn't no arrogant ass type of nigga like that'll do some weird dumb shit like that. Like I told you, like for Big to be that dope, he studied the music. He was a fan of it. So if Big with you and he liked what you was doing, he see you somewhere, he gonna give you yours. You know what I'm saying? He respected music. So if you made it and you was dope, he gonna fuck with you, especially if you're a cool nigga outside of that. He like, all right, it's my nigga. We used to fuck with the Loonies all day, yuck mouth and them like. They was on tour with us, you know what I'm saying? And we'd sit there and vibe with them, smoke with them after the show while we was on tour. Like, he was one of those, dog. He didn't really care about that. As long as you want some cool shit, you cool. You know what I mean? And you ain't, this shit ain't have to be super hard for him to like you. You could be on some crack Mack. You could be on some Buster type of vibe. You could be on some Loonies type of time. You could be on some Redman type of time. It didn't matter. If you was dope, he with you. Point blank. Big didn't have that. He wasn't one of them niggas that like don't fuck with you unless you really just did some bullshit or you really just trash. And he won't even.
You want to hear the rest of Lil C's interview? Going over to the Art of Dialogue. We was here to hear about Mack 10, giving him that stiff shoulder. We got a little extra shout out to everybody he mentioned. Shout out to Lil C's. Rest in peace to Biggie and Pop.
Get you some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this the short version. Get you a couple dollars, man. You're gonna feel different.
Hey, Net Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.